Today we have got two awesome Nike shoes. We have the Nike Vomero Plus and the Nike Vomero Premium. And while they serve a slightly different audience, I thought it would be a pretty cool video to break down the difference between the two shoes and how they do at some different paces. So today we're going to go ahead and get them on foot, do a fit test and feel test just here around, and then we're going to do 2 miles in each shoe. We'll do 2 miles first with the Vomero Premium, something really easy pace, and then something moderate, where this should have the easy pace down pat, should do that really, really well. The Vomero Plus should shine a little bit more in that middle range, like your daily paces, maybe a little bit faster towards a workout. And while you guys might have seen some of the videos with these two shoes before, I think it'll be interesting putting them head to head today and seeing how they perform and feel on foot. With that said, we're going to go ahead and start with the Vomero Plus on foot. Then we'll do Vomero Premium and start the run with the Vomero Premium. As always, if reviews like this are helpful, you can support me by pre-ordering the Ontos running hat. If you pre-order a hat, that should go out around July 1st. But that's always how you can support me the most as a creator, is the hats. I've spent so much time and effort making them really, really, really stinking good. So if you need a running hat, check out the Ontos running hat. It should be ontosrunning.com, and you can use YTO10 for 10% off your order on that too. For the Vomero Plus, obviously you guys have heard me talk about this before, but it does just have a very nice on-foot feel. It is not quite as padded as the Vomero Premium is, but there's plenty of plush feel here. This is a shoe that I normally go true to size in. So as I'm sitting here, a size 12 for me, I'm usually 12, sometimes 12 and a half. This is very solidly a 12. That is for sure the right size for me. And it just feels really nice on foot. It's not crazy. There's nothing super special about the on foot feel, but it's like a consistent, I really like how this feels kind of shoe. Let's do a squish test and a quick walk test and see how it feels as we do that. Then we'll switch over to the premiums. All right, so on foot as we're standing up, plenty of cushion here. It feels substantial, but not in like a super overly heavy kind of way. It is just a nice, easy, wide enough platform that it feels pretty good. We're gonna walk out this way and a little jog. And some people think it feels super duper squishy. That is not really how I feel about it. It just feels really nice. And by really nice, I mean it feels right in a lot of different categories, which I think is one of the qualities I really look for in a shoe. Like, does it feel good amongst a handful of different ranges and paces? Because shoes should be able to do that really well. That was one of the things that impressed me so much with the Vomero Premium. When I did my like 6:29 mile in it, I was like, well, this is not what I expect this shoe to do. But in terms of overall fit and feel, really like the Vomero Plus. I am excited to get a couple of miles in it today. Switching to the Premium, this is even more stack height. So the Vomero Plus is 45 millimeters of stack height, all ZoomX foam. This is 55 millimeters of stack height, which is just absolutely absurd in terms of numbers and shoes that are out on the market. And it feels really good. It's very plush all the way around, and that does come at a cost. We've got the Zoom units, a bunch of padding, and that cost is weight. While the Vomero Plus is just about 10 ounces, these are over 12, and again, that's pretty substantial. I'll have good conversations with people in the comments talking about like, how much does weight actually matter? And unless it's changing how you feel, I don't think it matters that much. Like, say 8 ounces versus 9 ounces, you're not really going to be able to feel 1 ounce of difference. I think it's more how the shoe makes you feel. However, when we're getting up towards 12 ounces, like, I can feel on foot this is a heavier shoe, even though it may not be like overly dramatically heavy. Getting both of these tied up though, this is another one where you want to go true to size. I did get this from Nike. Nike was really sick. The rep Jamal for our store sent me this pair, and it's a 12 and a half, and I've got plenty of space. I would probably have chosen a 12 if I could try stuff on and feel it all out, but we didn't. And that's okay. I'm still very appreciative of the shoe. But yeah, go to your normal true to size. 12 in most things. I would for sure be a 12 in this if I was feeling it out again. Let's do another squish test and some more walking and jogging before we get into running. All right, with these 2 Zoom units here, you can see just a huge amount of stack as I'm standing here. I mean, that is chunky, but what they have done such a good job on is keeping it very, very stable because the platform is just so wide as we're looking at it right here. Let's go ahead and walk out. And I mean, you feel really tall up off the ground, but it feels stable, feels really nice. I am excited to go running in these again, ready to rock. Okay, so we are off, and this first mile is not going to be very fast. We're going to shoot for a very comfy low heart rate because I want to assess these guys on what they do the best. And this is for sure a recovery shoe. So we're gonna run very comfortable pace for me, probably around 9:30, maybe 10-minute pace. I really don't have any interest in pushing this first one. Second mile will be more towards a daily pace, like just under 9-minute pace probably, towards maybe like 8:30. And then we'll do the same exact paces. I'll try and stay right on for the Vomero Plus and see how that feels compared to the premiums. So we're about a half a mile in, right about what we wanted to do. Feeling good. And this is the first, or I guess the best my foot has felt since finishing the 50K, not this past weekend, but the one before. So like 10 days ago. And this is like for sure the best feeling shoe on my foot. Like I woke up, it still wasn't feeling great as I got moving, but this is just such a shock reducing ride that my foot feels less mad than it has. So for the rest of the week, there's a pretty good chance I'm just going to stay in these and have some easy miles, try and accumulate what we're trying to get. So every week I'm working towards hitting 2,000 miles for the year, which means roughly 40 miles a week. And this is going to be a great companion for this week. So there's 1 mile, very comfortable feeling. Average heart rate there was 133 or 134, I think. So obviously very controlled. Letting the body warm up into it, and as it is currently, because we're post 50K race, this is a recovery feeling shoe, and this is what it does very well. I also paced a 12-minute group on a 10-mile run up here called the Mountaineer 10 Miler. That was really cool. But I was wearing the C1s and actually feeling this now. I wish I was wearing these over the Mountain Coast C1s. No shade to them either. Like I really like the C1s. I chose them because I thought they were going to feel nice and because they are a little lighter than these. But in terms of like pure raw recovery, man, it's just so hard to beat these. I have not been running in them a ton at any kind of fast-ish pace. Even daily pace, it's all been like just really easy recovery miles. So I'm really curious how it feels as we go a little faster here. I think we're going to aim somewhere around like 8 to 8:30 range. I'm really not going to put a hard cap on it, but I will make sure I run the same pace with the pluses. Okay, we are just passing about a half mile and we are cruising at this 8:03 pace. How nice. I mean, the shoes just feel really good. Back to the experience thing I talked about in the first run review with these. Oh, they're just so pleasant. They're so fun that like I give huge bonus points when something makes me feel excited and want to lace them up. And this is doing exactly that. even at a pace that's like kind of fast for what I expect that these should be doing well. I'll give a little debrief as I switch over shoes after we catch this last mile. Okay, so we let that kind of cruise down a little bit on pace. 8:12 is very, very reasonable for like how I feel and what I'm trying to do. Average heart rate was still 151, which is excellent. Nothing too crazy to report other than like, I'm so happy my foot doesn't hurt as I'm running, because I mean, just every day has felt like, the bottom of my foot hurts pretty bad, maybe like plantar fasciitis from, 32 miles of running in one day. But I don't want it to be like, I can't go run because of this. So having a shoe that makes it feel a lot better is a win. Let's go ahead and switch to the Vomero Plus and see if that has any difference. It still has super high shock absorbance numbers, according to Run Repeat, which I always like looking at their data. But it's not as high as these, because this is the second highest ever recorded from Run Repeat. Let's switch shoes. Fit and feel both awesome. Nothing that needs to get hit on with that. Fit feel was good, cushion was good, even the faster pace was good, heart rate was relatively low. Yeah, all good things. We'll switch shoes. Okay, and switching over here, we are going into the pluses from the premiums. With both of them on foot, there's not like a huge difference, which is kind of nice. I think they did a great job with the uppers on both of them. That's something that I'll for sure call out if I don't think the upper is very good, but I think they did a very nice job with both of these. I do like the laces just a little bit better on the premiums versus the pluses. So when we get texture like this on our lace, it usually stays tied a little bit better than something a little more flat like this here. Not that that's a huge issue, and I haven't noticed anything as I've been wearing these, but I wish more companies would just go to using the really nice laces on all of their shoes, because I cannot imagine it costs anything extra. If it's an aesthetic thing, sure, whatever, I guess, but like most race shoes people consider cool looking, and those all have the sawtooth laces for the most part anyhow. But yeah, having both of those on foot, they both felt very good, fit-wise, feel-wise. Let's go ahead and start our run in these. Okie doke. Half a mile in here, just a smidgen ahead of where we were on the premiums. And the fit on these is very nice. Obviously, I said at the start, this is a 12, which is my normal size, versus the 12.5 in the premiums. But this just feels a little more hugging, I guess, on the fit, which I like. In terms of the cushion, premiums all day. I am expecting, based on what I've run in these shoes before, that when we start going faster the second mile, these are going to end up feeling just a little nicer. So 10:02 with 137 heart rate, pretty low. Obviously it was lower on the first one because I had just started moving, so we were going from rest. Effort-wise, they felt the same, but fit was nice on these. I really do like that. I think the next mile will be better, but I definitely felt my foot like a lot more. So if you're somebody who's like trying to optimize for getting out and literally just having your body feel reasonably good, I think the premiums for sure have a place in a rotation. I'm actually curious how those feel versus a Super Blast. So that is likely a review I'll do. Let me know in the comments if that's something you would be interested in. Super Blast 3 just feels so shock absorby, so soft and squishy that I think it would feel really nice. I'm not sure which would feel better between those two though. So I like the Super Blast 3 more than the Vomero Pluses, which again, no shade, this is a great shoe and you can get great deals on it. And the Vomero Premium is pretty expensive. If you're talking Vomero Premium at $230 versus Super Blast 3 at $210, then it's more like a conversation of which one feels better, kind of. I think at that price point, a small variance in price is worth less than like getting the shoe that feels good. Now, let's go ahead, get this next mile, something around 8:15 pace-wise, and then we will wrap up conclusion, like which one's better for the value, which one would I tell more people to get, what does what better, and then we'll wrap. So let's go ahead and get this mile for now. All right, we are coming through about 0.6, just a smidgen ahead of pace. And the rocker on this, as we get faster, I know I like it when the shoe goes faster compared to like really easy, really slow, but it is like noteworthy how much better it feels at the faster paces. Just really enjoyable. Much more apt to go fast. It feels like it moves you up a little bit on your foot, like as you're landing, which makes that roll transition a little easier, at least for me. So we'll finish this out and wrap it up. All right, so that finished us out right at that like 8:07 mile. Very comfortable. That is certainly where these feel better. The recovery paces in these are just like okay. I do think it does that workout space just a little bit better. Not workout, but like mid-tier zone 3 kind of run is for sure where it feels the best. As I said during the run, when you are out and you're getting a little quicker, with this, I feel like I can just smash anywhere on this shoe and just be fine for a landing zone. The shock's going to get absorbed. In the heel, even though this is a huge stack, it doesn't feel as good or as smooth like this does at any position from where you're trying to hit it. So if I started hitting a little more forwards as I got a little faster, the transition to the toe just felt so much like dramatically better. And we'll go ahead and answer the questions that I always try and answer. Where would these fit in rotations? How is it in terms of value? And then maybe what kind of shoes would I compare these to as well, we'll throw in today. So we'll start over here because this is what we started with. Who is it for? Anybody that really is just putting a premium on feeling good, like I want to feel good coming out of a run, or I feel bad from a different run and I want to go get one. I was actually like so pleasantly surprised with how much my foot did not hurt while I was running in this. And then absolutely zero shade to the Plus, but coming out of these, I was like, my foot hurts enough that I wish I was back in the premiums. So yeah, somebody who wants recovery, who's really valuing like feeling good during their runs, where would it fit in a rotation? I'm pretty impressed with it, man. I think it could be a one shoe rotation for sure. If you just really want a comfy shoe that can do a lot of things. Price point is a little steep at $230, but it feels so nice. Like I can almost justify that. What are some comparable shoes? I think maybe like a Hoka Skyward X. That's a little faster paced shoe, but similar in weight, similar in stack. The idea of it being a shoe you can go get some easy miles in, and neither of those two are trying to be extra peppy and push you forwards really fast. But there are not too many shoes that I think are like overly similar to this. I think just this monstrous stack, the zoom units, the amount of tech that's in it, the shock absorbance being so high, I just don't know that there are a ton of similar shoes. It does feel fantastic though. So huge thumbs up on the Vomero Premium. actually the reason that Jamal, the Nike rep for the shoe store I manage, sent them to me is I think he wants us to bring them into the store, and I think that's pretty fair. I think this is making a really good case to actually end up in the store. Now, as for the Vomero Plus, who is it for and who is it not for? It's super easy, one shoe rotation. Absolutely, if you're new to running and just want a shoe that's really comfortable, you can find these on sale for really, really good prices. Just depends on who has it on sale for what on that day and the colorway and the size, all that. But like absolutely fine for easy runs. Now I've got more options, so I'm going to choose the thing that I think feels best. But I've done easy runs on the treadmill on this. I've done easy runs out here. Where it maybe falters the most is when you're really trying to crank on it, when you're trying to go really fast for workouts. But again, if you're at the point where you really care about your workout speeds, you probably have a secondary shoe. So who is it for? Who's it not for? Somebody that wants a really good quality, kind of do-it-all shoe. Who's it not for? I don't know. Somebody that's looking for a new up-tempo shoe, I guess. But most people would be well served with the Vomero Plus. Where does it fit in a rotation? It could be a single. It could be your easy shoe to pair with something faster. I wouldn't really want to go this way, where I was going from I don't think this would be a really necessary rotation. I think you'd need something faster. 3-shoe rotation with this, I reckon you would do this for an easy day or like a zone 3 kind of workout. Have a Evo SL style shoe, Skechers Aero, Razor, and then I guess race day shoe. A 3-shoe rotation with this is kind of weird. That doesn't feel like overly necessary. And analogous shoes are shoes that are like kind of similar to this. You've got like the Mount Coast C1, the Asics Gel Nimbus. You've got the Salomon Aero Glide. You've got even, it would be more aggressive and can do more of the workout stuff, but like the Brooks Hyperion Max, really high stack like this is, has some of the better foam that Brooks has. It just has that nylon plate that makes it a little more aggressive, but like that's again in a similar kind of vein. Now, which shoe between these two would I choose? I would choose the Vomero Premium if I could only have one or the other, because I have so many of the shoes that fit into the same category as the Vomero Plus. That really good quality daily trainer. Like I have the Mount Coast C1. These two shoes overlap a ton, whereas this I think would add something different to my rotation. In terms of value, you guys know I'm a big value guy. I think the value is there on here. I think the value at the price points you can get the Vomero Plus on is absolutely there. I think Nike's really just trying to make a resurgence where they kind of fell off for a while. They weren't taken super seriously in the running space because they hadn't done anything innovative in a long time. And then they decided, oh, shoot, we do want to change this image. We do want to be a player in the daily space. So they've released a lot of shoes at price points that I think are very reasonable for what you're getting out of them. They have for sure gone into one of my, I don't know, top 5 brands for sure. I think Mount Coast is doing a lot of really good stuff. I love Asics for sure, my favorite brand, just because of the breadth, how much different stuff they do at such a high level. The Super Blast, Mega Blast, their race stuff is great. Having multiple options for race day is super cool. They've been really big on that ATPU foam that's done so well in so many different shoes. But then they've got like the Nimbus that feels really good for easy daily miles. I don't need stability shoes, so the Kayano didn't work for me, but I did get to take it out on a run at a demo, and I could tell if I needed stability, I would have really, really liked it. I just don't need stability, so it didn't really work for me, but it was a very smooth transition. Like so much good stuff coming out of Asics, but Nike's for sure up there. I'm excited to see what they do with the Alpha Fly 4 that's coming out soon. I guess there's a like Evo SL competitor shoe that's being released soon. I am so stoked to get that. And then Pegasus Plus is going to be one I'm really excited about with the zoom units in the forefoot there. As always, if you guys want to support reviews like this, you can take a look at the Ontos Running brand. That is, it's linked in the description, it's in the comments. You can use YTO10 for 10% off, and hopefully, if these reviews are valuable enough, you guys can support me. I know some of you out there have already done that, and I'm very, very, very grateful that you guys have. All right, with all that said, thank you guys so much. We will see you in the next one. If you got questions or comments, drop them below. I answer every question. If you want to see different reviews, let me know about that. I hope you guys do something good for your body today. We'll see you in the next one. Enjoy some miles. Bye.